Now, for many years now, I've been trying to get an understanding as to why. Why is it so important? Or why is it that the only way that these modern Caribbean politicians can think of raising money, raising funds, or strengthening their economy is by selling their passports? I've been thinking about this thing for years. Why is it that the only or the best idea that these politicians can come up with in order to raise revenue is by selling passports? I've never been in agreement with that selling passport thing. It just shows that the people that we elect in to represent our interests, which they have not realized that they were elected to represent our interests. The people that were elected to represent our interests, it looked like they just don't have the strength that is necessary to do what is necessary to raise revenue to support the country. What we have is, after every election cycle, we have an efflux of people leaving the country because for one reason or the other, they think that they're going to be persecuted and prosecuted by the government who just won the elections, or they realize that staying in the country, they're going to starve. They're going to starve in a country where the only ideas that the politicians have to raise revenue or to, just move the economy is by selling passports. So they realize that they can't survive in them kind of environment, so they move to greener pastures where they can get greener grass and more water. In America, among the black leaders, there was the concept of the talented tenth. I forgot who proposed that theory, but basically Du Bois or one of them. The idea is that you're going to select the top 10% of the people in the population, and they're going to become the leaders. The top 10% will be more capable of handling the responsibility of leadership. They will have the knowledge to deal with the problems that will come. They will have an understanding of how the world works, and they will be able to bring in laws, bring in ideas that will generate revenue, the talented 10th. But a lot of times when you look at, for years I've been looking at this thing. Some of the people that they present to represent people are not part of the talented 10th in nothing. And the other thing too is, one of the reasons why we have this problem and people do not have ideas as to how to manage the economy to generate revenue, and the only thing they can do is sell passport. The reason why that is happening is because some of the people have no experience in nothing much. People have to come and make this decision on economics. They never really run a rum shop or a shop selling sweets to children. They have no ideas about what it takes to run business. They never had a business. Their mother never had a business. They never studied business. They have no experience in nothing really. They have no real experience in nothing except for the people will say that Misika Ibanu a boy man, Misika Ibanu a boy. Or they believe that by virtue of somebody being popular in sports or anything really that does not really sometimes lend into your ability to run a country or community, these are the things that they glorify here. So principally, the problem is in the selection process. You cannot be in a developing country with limited resources and just be choosing anybody to represent the communities just because they are popular. Probably they were spending more time by the bar. Probably they were buying more drinks for others. Probably they were just jovial people, and for some reason people like them. But you choose them to represent in a developing country where resources are scarce. You see, what happened is we competing against very powerful people, very powerful countries, and other countries send their best, even when they sign treaties. Yeah, boss. Yeah. Even when they sign treaties, we sign all these treaties. We sign all these treaties with these foreign countries. And it's almost like we have no power of negotiation. The Americans or whoever will just bring, oi, boss, I want one. The Americans or whoever will just have their Harvard trained and the best lawyers prepare things, and politicians will just, some of them guys will just come and sign things. The thing is, we have lawyers, and I believe that the lawyers that we have should be getting more involved. But some of the way these things happen, and you can realize that no lawyer ever saw these documents that these people sign. The Kun. Yeah. That breaking my focus, you know. Yeah. How much is it? Oh. Christian. Yeah, it broke. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, what we're seeing is a situation where you have the best of these developed countries putting legislature, putting laws together, putting treaties together for us to sign. And sometimes you can know that certain people just go and sign these agreements and they never consult with the skillful people that we have in the country because they don't want them to know the details of what is going on. But in a number of cases, the talented 10th is not what we have representing us. That's why the best idea they can have is to sell passports. They believe that money cannot be generated from agriculture, so they do nothing really. They just keep their bones alive. Pay lip service to agriculture, and what they do is they take a lot of the money and put it into tourism. They'll spend millions of dollars, tens of thousands. They'll spend around 20 million, 10 million, 15 million to pay aeroplanes to come here, to fill the hotels of rich men. But they cannot carve a policy for where the poor man can benefit from the tourism dollar. In Nakai, there's a building where the old police station was. That's supposed to be the headquarters for village tourism. They never did anything much of that. They spent 17 million euros, 15 or 17 million euros was spent on a project to bring tourists to the valley. They did different things in different areas, but the building is closed. Nothing is happening because the focus is to spend the taxpayers' money to empower rich people in St. Lucia to benefit from the tourism, and nothing for the poor or the average person. The teacher wants to get involved in tourism, but there's nothing available for them. So we do not have the talented 10th. What we have is people who are thinking of the easiest way to run things. Sell vibes to passports, sell post passports to foreigners, And so what will happen? We ain't really seen the ramifications of all of that. Because these rich people we're selling the passport to, when them people come here, decide to be around here, they can just be buying land regardless of the price. And what that will do is that will cause real serious inflation. That will prevent the ordinary person from being able to own land in the country. Keep the fire burning, Chebefo. You are what you are. You will do what you will do. That is what the people want. Let them have what they want.